My name is Kadeen May Sr., and in my current professional setting, I'm currently teaching ESL, consisting of students who speak 4 different languages. The languages they speak are French, Portuguese, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. Due to the diversity of languages spoken in my classroom, I've developed a number of strategies to encourage my students to study English. For example, when the school year first started, I divided my students into groups based on languages they spoke. I then assigned daily groups to work and use simple English terms to start each group off, such as good morning, how are you today, how are you finding the day. This method has shown to be quite effective because my students are driven to learn English. Definition of differentiation, education, and how it relates the brain to brain-based learning. The method of tailoring it's the method of tailoring lessons to match each student's unique interests, requirements, and strengths is known as differentiated education. This style of teaching enables teachers to tailor lessons while providing students choices and flexibility in their learning. To help students better achieve their learning goals, this approach also calls for specific guidance and goals. Differentiation in my current job setting is related to brain-based learning, since it acknowledges the distinctive cognitive processes and preferences of each of my students, which in line with neuroscience concepts. Additionally, it stimulates intricate motivation and engages many brain regions to address and support effective learning. Some of the methods that I can use to introduce differentiated brain-based methods in my ESL instructions are: 1. ESL instruction enables teachers to use wide range of instructional strategies that activate different brain regions, cater to different learning styles. For example, by comprehending this usage, for instance, we can include interactive conversations, visual aids, practical exercise, and resource utilization to suit a variety of learning styles. Another example, recognizing that ESL students might not have the language background and competency level necessary to differentiate enables us as teachers to offer individualized help to each student in order to determine their unique needs. For this reason, it's necessary to provide clarification, use multilingual materials, or divide assignments into multiple levels according to where my students are learning English. The next and last thing that I'll be talking about is a definition of engagement and how it relates to brain-based learning. Engagement is the level of involvement in interest and active participation that students show in the learning process, and is referred to as engagement in education. It includes students' attention, motivation, and emotional investment in their learning experiences, as well as cognitive affective dimensions. When students actively participate in learning tasks, different brain regions are activated, and the brain recognizes this through the mechanism of neuroplasticity by altering in response to learning experiences. This is how engagement helps in my ESL classes with my students. Here are two examples that I can use in my professional setting. Engaging ESL students in real-world communication tasks. For example, role play, where my students are using English language and sentences daily to each other. And two, where my students use different vocabulary words daily by exposing my students to various vocabulary words with the use of games, are all good ways of my students building up their vocabulary to help each other to become fluent in the English language. Overall, just using different strategies that is geared directly to help my ESL students learning English is a good way and a good example of how I can help them to reach their academic journey.